the Republican conference does have some pretty serious headwinds at its back when it looks at the 35 seats that they're defending on the House side, which Hakeem Jeffries is coming out, sort of guns blazing about over the weekend. He was even in Louisiana talking about it.
Wow.
And then the Senate races, where they're trying to shore up runners who can either stay in the race or staunch retirements. But members do not want to be there, whether it's Shaheen, Susan Collins in neighboring Maine, Tom Tillis in North Carolina. There are a host of members. Joni Ernst is on the perennial list of will she, won't she. The Republican conference is going to have to spend a lot of money next year to stay in these Senate races that they've been able to hold on to, but that are going to come under serious duress, especially with the One Big Beautiful Bill, which has a 71% disapproval rating amongst independents, and the tariffs. So there's a lot of headwinds.
Speaking of tariffs, Henrietta, I mean, we're getting close to that August 1 deadline. I'm not really sure what that means. But one thing we're not seeing is we're not seeing a lot of trade deals, are we? Why is that?
No, we have no deals. We have no text of any deals. And even the one that we sort of have is really more of a framework. That's the one with the UK. What's happening here and what we are seeing increasingly from the foreign nations that we're trying to negotiate with, whether it's Japan, South Korea, or the EU, is a litany of issues. First amongst them is the 232 tariffs. I can't negotiate a temporary IEEPA rate when I have a tariff pending on pharmaceuticals of like 200%, which is what President Trump discussed in the cabinet room last week. When I have tariffs on automobiles, automobile parts, copper, and all these components that could come on and rise at the president's discretion. And those are permanent tariffs. So it's not really in your best interest to be negotiating a temporary IEEPA rate of, let's call it 20-25%, even though that is highly punitive and well above the original, 2.5% tariff rate that we had going into this administration. But the 232s are the linchpin. And then you look at Brazil and you see, oh, well, we don't like your political atmosphere, so we're going to launch a Section 301 investigation into you over ostensibly the digital services tax, but we could tariff now anything coming in from Brazil. And that's just two of what I listed in my report over the weekend of 7 different items that foreign nations are considering when they address this administration and negotiate these trade deals that are obviously not forthcoming.
Paul, did you read Henrietta's report over the weekend?
I am reading it right now. I just called out to Lisa Mateo. I said, this is unbelievable. Every week she packs it with unbelievable detail. It's crazy.
It's a chicken tenders.
It's unbelievable. So, Henrietta, if I'm a country and I don't do a trade deal, okay, tariffs are going to go on. But if I'm the president, I don't think tariffs are really polling that well with Americans. So what is the administration to do here?
Yeah, the tariffs are really a problem for the Jeanne Shaheens of the world, for the members that are up next year. As Tom points out, Trump is not up again. He doesn't have to run ever again. The third term stuff is really just to stave off this appearance of being a lame duck. But the reality is that the Republicans in the House and the Senate are the ones who have to run. And they're going to be in a situation where the American public, 87% of Americans, are concerned about higher prices, somewhat or very much. That's a crazy number. So they're predisposed, whether the tariffs are hitting or not, to be flipped out about tariffs.
The street's sort of saying, I'm going to voice this for Global Wall Street, Ms. Treyz, that Besson is once again going to have to go in and sit on the couch and say, Mr. President, back off from Liberation 2. Is that going to happen?
I mean, Scott Bessent just said in, Aspen last week, mess around and find out, except with different words. I don't know how comfortable that couch is going to be. I think that the administration talks about generating $300 million in tariff revenue, and we're at 100 now. So that math means more tariffs.